Welcome and a warm good evening. Welcome back on my channel, arunfoot. And welcome to another session and live show with talking points in regard to the Indian football transfer market, as well as the latest from the Indian national team. What's all happening on those two fronts? Those will be the topics that I will be looking at tonight and looking to discuss with you guys tonight. And yeah, let's hope we can come up with a few things which are interesting. A lot of talking points, I guess, there are in the market, and hopefully it we will get through the points and see what we want to talk about. The latest from the national team is, of course, it's 14th of May, so there's still certain players who've not joined the national team camp. The players from Mohun Bagan Supergiant as well as Mumbai City FC who played the ISL final on the 4th of May. They'll be joining tomorrow. So a big chunk of players is coming in. But as you know by now, numerous players, of course, are not part of the national team camp due to injuries or due to personal reasons. And that is sort of the situation as it stands at the moment. So that means that certain players simply are not part of the camp. That, and the question, of course, can be raised: Will Igor Stimac call up one or the other additional player? He hasn't done it so far, because especially in defensive midfield, India doesn't look too good to me. In the sense of, if I look at the options, I would think that there are certain players that he might think about calling up, but he hasn't, and that'll be interesting to see if he changes that opinion. So therefore, that's something which I feel is a reality. So let's wait, see. Maybe there are two players who come directly to my mind, Sushant Singh as well as Putea, but nothing has been said so far. But so he'll continue with the 32. To start the first question of the evening, Nishant Sharma asks, "Sir, Changte got a call from Sunderland for trial. Is it true?" As far as I know, I haven't heard about it, so this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Not sure, but again, I would hope Changte does in the summer go and gives it a shot, maybe training with a CFG club, or potentially going out to trial with a club, and I would look forward to it, because I think Changte does deserve that opportunity. He's been one of the standout players of the last two seasons of the Indian Super League, and I wish him all the best. Janjolian, good evening also from my side to you, and that's that. One name which seems to be discussed a lot today is the name of Jiteshwar Singh of Chennai FC. That seems to be a lot of discussions in regard to East Bengal, especially showing interest in the player, and the player has a contract until 25. He's potentially on the market. Chennai seem to be looking at quite a substantial overhaul in the summer in regard to the squad that they have had, and they are looking to bring in players, but they're also potentially looking to offload players. Jiteshwar could be replaced by Jitendra, who's with Jamshedpur FC. It seems like quite a big contingent of Jamshedpur FC players could be moving to Chennai FC. It is said that Chimachukwu is as a striker is going there. El Sinio as a defensive midfielder is going there, while also Ladin Puya are the three, and those are the sort of the big three which I'm hearing that could be moving. But now also the name of Jitendra has been sort of added to the mix potentially of Jamshedpur players moving to rejoin their former coach, Owen Coyle, at Chennai FC, which on the other side means that certain players would potentially leave Chennai FC, because there's also talk, of course, of Kian Nasiri joining them, from Mohun Bagan, Gurkirat and Mohammad Nawaz, potential candidates for Chennai from Mumbai City FC, which would open up Nawaz as a potential new number one, or competition to Shomik Mitra, who's extended his contract at Chennai, while Devjit Mujumdar, of course, has moved to East Bengal. And there's some Chennaiyin players who've been linked with East Bengal. Chiteshwar is being one of them as a midfielder, but also on the other side, also the possibility of Rahim Ali, who of course was linked last summer with East Bengal, potentially moving to Kolkata. So those are some of the rumors that are going around. Mohun Pradhan asked, good evening, sir, any new signing of Odisha FC? I think the big one is, of course, hopefully going to be confirmed in the coming days that Sergio Lobera is staying. I think that's the biggest one of them all, that after the rumors that Lobera might be moving, that he has potentially had conversations with Mohun Bagan, potentially also with clubs outside of India. So therefore, that in my opinion is an interesting one, that Lobera is staying and trying to build something at Odisha FC. I think the big one at the moment to me is that potentially Bipin Singh could be leaving Mumbai City and joining Odisha FC. But it also depends on which players are staying, which players are going. There was the rumor, of course, Diego Mauricio being linked to East Bengal, Roy Krishna being linked with Mohammedan Sporting, potentially going back to the Australian A-League. Both of them look like they potentially could be staying at the club. So therefore, I think there needs to be the clarity of which players are staying first. I think that's what Odisha is doing, trying to confirm some of those players to keep them. And of course, bringing in some talent, because again, there's been some interest in Isaac Ralte. I think Putea has also gotten some interest, so let's wait and see what happens. General Hassan, is Apuya moving in from Mumbai City FC? My infos at the moment clearly state that Apuya is staying at Mumbai City FC. There seems to be a rumor in Kolkata that has been created, maybe even to make Mumbai City maybe a little nervous. I don't know, but I think the transfer fee and the salary that Apuya would draw, I think East Bengal directly is then out of the question. If a Kolkata club is capable of paying those salaries and paying the transfer fee, it is Mohun Bagan who can do that. So therefore, the question is, does Apuya want to leave? First of all, the question is, does Apuya want to leave Mumbai City? And if he does want to leave Mumbai City, does he then move to Mohun Bagan, or does he try his luck abroad? I think for me, that's the big question. A player like Apuya, like I said in regard to Changte as well, deserves the opportunity to try and go abroad. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. But at the moment, no serious connections in regard to Apuya to either East Bengal or to Mohun Bagan. Nishan Chavasing, sir, do you think foreign scouts notice ISL? I honestly don't think so. I think the one or the other keeps a tab of things, and the statistics are available nowadays, and in Y Scout and other platforms, videos are available. But I don't. Again, there is not much of a desire and a need of tracking, so to say, talent in the ISL. So therefore, I say at the moment, no, that is not the case. Anurag Kaushik, good evening. Also from my side, Anurag, good to see you back. Any updates on Northeast United? Northeast United are trying to sign a few players. They are looking at players from the I-League. I think they're looking at amongst others, players at Aizawl FC. That is one. And looking to try and build a team. I mean, they've already Bema Mer, Sabako, they've all extended. Parthiv Gogoi, of course, being the main Indian boy that they have extended. So therefore, they're trying to build a team. I think Juan Pedro Benali is also staying. So therefore, and to me, that is something where I feel that they are on the right track in trying to build a team and trying to be competitive in regard to the top six. Gaurav Kanikar, what should be realistic targets of Mohun Bagan in Asian competition next season? Look at the kind of signing they're willing to make next season. I would wait, to make any sort of observation in regard to what could be my aims, because I need to see what kind of group Mohun Bagan is in, and that would be my suggestion also to the to me, if you get a strong group, then Mohun Bagan most likely will finish fourth, will finish last in that group. So for me, that's the challenge. That's the challenge. And to me, if they get an easier group, maybe they can, finish third, maybe even second. Who knows? But to me, at the moment, if they're going to get a tough group, I think there is no question of progression. This is not the AFC Cup. This is not a South Asian group where a team like Mohun Bagan, or we saw it last season, Odisha, and Basunda Kings. Again, Basunda Kings is a problem for Indian clubs, and we're going to play much stronger competition. So therefore, yeah, that's something which can be seen. Jendra Nielsen asking on us why ISL players are moving here and there, just like the wheel on the bus going round and round. I think, if you ask me, is as with anywhere else in the world, which you see that that there is not much of player loyalties these days. There are players who are moving from A, B to C to D, and then they start at A again. That does happen. I think that money is a huge factor. Some will try and tell us that there's a project here and there, that's why I'm going to A to B or C club or whatever. But to me, very often it's more about the question of how can you what makes sense for the player, where should you go, when do you need to go, which is the club that you need to look at, which is what makes sense for you from a career standpoint. We've spoken about it especially in regard to the Indian strikers. Where should they go, where should they sign, and to me that's one of those challenges for an Indian footballer, for him, and also with him, the agent, the family, friends. Where do I go? Do I sign a long contract? So for me is always a difficult question. Nishant Sharma, do you think India can qualify for the 2025 World Cup? You mean, of course, the 2025 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. I know little at the moment about the Under-17 team. I only know that Ishfaq Ahmed is likely to coach them for a certain period of time. So Nishant, to make an assessment or judgment at the moment is going to be a little difficult. So from my perspective, sorry for that, but at the moment it's a little early. Let the squad, let the camp come out. Let me see if I know certain boys here and there. We've seen them maybe at the under-15, not under-15, but under-17 tournaments. Then you can have a better judgment. But at the moment, I feel it's very difficult, because if you look at how the FF pre-COVID was preparing teams for these competitions, there were long camps that were sent abroad, not only just across Asia, but they went to trip to Europe and elsewhere. That kind of exposure at the moment is lacking. So therefore, I hope, with the partnerships we've had with the Bundesliga, that last year you saw the Indian under-17s come to Stuttgart and to Augsburg, get experience. They went to Real Madrid, they went here, they went there, played Real Madrid, were guests of Atletico Madrid. Let's see what happens on that front. So therefore, we'll most probably be able to talk about it later. Gaurav, what perception do you think East Bengal management has of Mohun Bagan management? Both the teams are going to play Asian competition next season. Gaurav, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, and now Mohammedan also in the mix in the ISL means that you have a very, very competitive scenario in Kolkata. That's one thing which is going to be there. That it's not only a matter of two, but it's now a matter of three. That the three teams will be sort of in the mix. But the reality is that Mohun Bagan, Supergiant, are financially stronger than the other two teams due to the money that Mr. Goenka is investing into Mohun Bagan Supergiant. That's, for me, a given at the moment. That's a reality of how things are. And therefore, one has to be honest enough to say that, Mohun Bagan Supergiant are in a better position than East Bengal. And I think, East Bengal needs to work its way up. I think East Bengal has that challenge of getting back to where this club belongs or should belong in regard to being challenging for titles and championships. Rather, they've won the Super Cup this season, but the ISL playing a league is a different thing. So therefore, I think that is that, and I think both clubs will be wishing each other all the best in the ACL too, be it in the qualifiers or be it in the group stage, because again, also for us as fans, it should not be a question of supporting one club and not supporting the other. I think we should be supporting all Indian clubs that play in continental competitions. So that's my sort of take on that, because I think it's important that teams play at continental competitions at continental level and are successful. I think for Indian football, that's very, very important that our clubs are successful at continental level, because that enables us then hopefully also to have more teams at continental level playing on a regular basis. And that sort of strengthens our outlook at things. So therefore, yeah, I would hope, be it East Bengal, be it Mohun Bagan, that the respective fans support the other team as well at the continental level, and we do that. So that's that. And while I'm saying it, you see that below. Do follow me. As always, do like, share, and subscribe. My social media handles under arunfoot, especially my target is 1K. I'm slowly closing in on that 1K, so I hope so therefore for me to grow the community, more people join in these conversations, more people join in our conversations. So therefore and therefore so therefore that's something that my request is, those of you who are watching, not those of you who are watching live, or those who may be watching deferred live later on, therefore I hope it all works out that you support me. Thanks a lot for that. Nishant says, sir, Man City signed you 70 player the Echeverry from World Cups. Our team put it. This is a chance for players to go. We are not playing at that stage. So Nishant, this theoretical question doesn't crop up. And again, we are, as in India, we are not the South American team. We're not an African team. We're not even, Uzbekistan or Tajikistan, or those players don't even get picked by Man City, right? So that's a reality of things. So therefore, therefore, for me, I think that's a very important thing that we, so for me, we need to get to that stage first before we, and on a regular basis, not just a one-off, we go there and then, 10, 15, 20 years, we don't qualify again. We need to qualify on a regular basis for that level of football to be able for people to take notice of Indian football. And also, can we qualify for third round if we win against Kuwait? Yeah, I mean, that a game, as I always love to say, a game starts at 0-0 and the chances are 50-50. It doesn't matter who you're playing. So therefore, as long as it's 0-0, anything can happen, and we can win 1-0 or whatever the result is. So therefore, we are in it. The question is, what is the relationship of the coach and the players? Are the players willing to do and give it everything that they can to try and win games? I think that's the challenge. I think that Igor much has, because again, the team didn't perform well in the last few matches, and to me is that's something which I feel is a very important thing. So therefore, for me, it's very important that the coach and the players gel well to come back. At the moment, what they're doing is mornings they're doing a gym session, in the afternoon, evening they're doing a training session on the field. So therefore, that's there. So I hope that something works out. Again, that we were talking about it yesterday. It's a little conflicting, right? If we talk about Igor Stimac and the national team and what's the status, do we get into round 3? Does the contract get extended? All these things are factors, and again, I think we need a restart with the new manager, a head coach for the Indian national team. And I'm disappointed in what I'm hearing from those officials are saying, it's passing on the buck and blaming other people, saying, these guys will extend the contract. Oh, I just would sign it off and this and everything. We need leadership. We need leadership, and decisions need to be taken. So yeah, I hope those things are taken care of when it comes to the national team. Gaurav, what football style suits Mohun Bagan team, considering that they're looking for a new manager? I think the question is, Sorry, just let me have a quick sip. Sorry. For me, I think the question is, who is that suitable manager for Mohun Bagan to come in? Who is the guy who can come into Mohun Bagan Supergiant, work with the squad that they have, and work with the potential new incomings which are set to come in to strengthen the squad, right? You saw that Habas was very practical in his approach when he came back to Mohun Bagan, that he normally likes to sit deep, play on the counter, wait and watch. That's sort of the approach that Habas likes to take. But in this case, he has sort of decided that, it might be better with the team that I have at the moment. Maybe it's better for me to be more attacking minded. And therefore, for me, that's the question that arises if I keep Jason Cummings and I keep Petratos, I bring in, let's say, Jamie McLaren, I have a very, very potent attacking unit. So that to me means, you've got Sahal in there, you've got Anirudh Thapar in there, you've got Manveer, you've got Liston, you've got this, that, everything. To me, it makes then more sense that a club like Mohun Bagan has then an attacking-minded setup, even though, of course, they need to look at who are their defensive midfielders, who are their defenders or when they're set to release Brandon Hamill and Hector Eustace. Who comes in? How does Mohun Bagan restructure itself? That's going to be the interesting question in all of this. And the challenge also for Mohun Bagan. What are they going to do? How are they going to build the team? How are they gonna do what is needed to be getting there? So for me, Mohun Bagan, regarding the new coach, the coach needs to adopt to what is available. It's not just Mohun Bagan. I think a lot of coaches coming into India will have to adopt to what is available. I think if you are coming in with a set mindset, I'm going to play like this, I'm going to play like that, and you don't have the players for that, then it's going to be difficult, right? You saw Peter Kratky coming into Mumbai City FC and working on certain things at Mumbai City FC, and that giving them the result. But the basic structure of Mumbai City was built by Des Buckingham. So there's the sort of CFG philosophy which is behind it. On the other side, you see Sergio Lobera brought in certain players to try and play the way that he likes, the players that he's trusted at multiple clubs. You bring in Murtada Fall, you bring in Ahmed Jahu, you bring in an Amar Ranawade, others as well who played under him. So therefore, that to me works, and that's, I think, very, very clear. FC Goa, most probably one of the clubs who have some sort of philosophy of a style of football that they like to play, and therefore, I think that's the question that needs to be answered at some stages. Do you get what you want out of this? And that's the big challenge. I think that's the big challenge that all the coaches have in the Indian Super League. Is, are you getting your players, your team to play what you think is right, and are they playing the right way in regard to what you want them to do? So that's, I think, the big challenge for the coaches in the Indian Super League across the board. I think and therefore, it's very important that so therefore, for me, that's something. That the coaches build their teams around and make it interesting, and therefore, for me, that's always an interesting factor. You have to be practical in your approach. You cannot say I want to play in this way or that way, and you don't have the players for that. So therefore, the success or failures of coaches on that front is there in that matter, right? And therefore, for me, that's the biggest challenge I think we face in the Indian Super League at the moment, is that can a coach come in and adopt and build something? And of course, how do you react when you have injuries? I think this season was a very good example, right? That Habas came in, changed his style, adopted it, won the Shield. Peter Kratky comes in, had long conversations with Des Buckingham before coming in, and decides, I've got a base, but I'm going to change a few small little things here and there. And then suddenly, the success came his way. And then if you look at other teams, if you look at Manuel Marquez at Goa, you look at Ivan Vukovanovic at Kerala Blasters, they were unable to adapt to the situation of severe injuries which weakened their teams. And that's the challenge, I think, in the Indian Super League, that can you build a team? Do you have the backups to be able to be successful? Goa as the best example. Victor Rodriguez was a disaster for them. And then Sandesh Jhingan was the second one. And then you, of course, also switch goalkeepers, Arshdeep out and Dheeraj in. And Dheeraj was a risk factor for the remainder of the season. So therefore, these things are there, and it'll be interesting to see how the coaches handle those things and how the coaches really work on those issues. And I think that's the real challenge now in what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. And therefore, yeah, that's something which I feel is going to be very, very interesting. And how can you build, so therefore, let's wait and see where the coaches first of all find the players. I think that's the interesting part at the moment. How do you interswitch your squads? You've got players coming in from the left to the right, to the right to the left, players being linked to clubs. Very often you have also players linked to clubs who then stay at their respective clubs. Look at Jeekson last summer was linked to a number of clubs, and it didn't nothing in the end happened, even though he was linked to both Mumbai City and to Mohun Bagan Supergiant, but nothing happened in the end. Then there are others who were linked, and then the transfers happened very, very quickly. So therefore, the transfer market is an interesting one. It's a crazy one, also in Indian football context these days, because in the past things used to happen. Not many people used to bother, and not many people used to speak about it, talk about it. And then try and do something in regard to trying to confirm. Clubs know nowadays very often. Okay, this player A or this player B could be joining, could be leaving. So therefore, these are things that are happening. So therefore, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens. And the transfer market is a hot one again. The one transfer, of course, a lot of people have spoken about it in the last few days. Apuya, at the moment, as far as I know, there is nothing to be spoken about. Apuya is staying, and then of course East Bengal are targeting certain players, and those midfielder targets in regard to strengthening their holding midfield positions. Are they really on the market? We're not very clear what's happening at the Blasters at the moment. So therefore, Vibin Mohanan, is he really on the market? Potentially, if he is on the market, will only East Bengal try and get him? Will not Mohun Bagan, Mumbai City, or BFC be on the market to try and sign him? So that's going to be some of the things that we're talking about. Gaurav asked about Punjab's new home stadium. At the moment, leave out the new. At the moment, I think the question is, where will they play their home games? At the moment, that looks likely it could be another season of Delhi for them. Or at least that's what I'm hearing or getting to know, because at the moment it's not very clear if Delhi will get the option of moving to the Chandigarh region. I remember they wanted to move to Panchkula. That so far hasn't happened, or that opportunity has not come to them, so that they could use Panchkula as a home venue. So the question is, has that ground, which again, Chandigarh, of course, has the speciality that it's sort of based in around with Punjab, Haryana, and Chandigarh as a union territory. Panchkula is in Haryana, so therefore, the club is based in Mohali. So that's a question that needs to be answered. I think for them, it would be the best if they could play in Panchkula. I think they could do a lot more in and around Panchkula than they can in Delhi. This year they had to keep that option in regard to free ticketing there. But it'll be interesting to see if Punjab FC really can build enough, or not only them, but can Punjab be able to move to Panchkula to build their home base, and also grow on their potential fan base in and around Chandigarh. I think that's the big challenge for Punjab FC, which of course is owned by Round Glass, and that's something which I think is going to be very interesting to see. 1 second. Sorry, just a quick. Not as interactive as we have been in the last few days. It seems like, guys, you don't have too many queries or questions today. Still, national team. I have spoken about. I told you about what I know. What is the current status in and around the national team? Again, nothing else to talk about when it comes to the national team at the moment. The core of the team is there. Once again, I'll just go through the list of players who are supposedly joining tomorrow, which is, of course, Vishal Keth, Purvala Chempa as keepers, Anwar Ali, Shubhashish Bose, Rahul Beke, Mehtab Singh as defenders, Anirudh Thapa, Sahal Abdul Samad, Liston Kulaso, Lalinzwala Chankte, and Vikram Partap Singh as midfielders, Manvi Singh as well as Sunil Chetri as striker. Sunil, of course, was given exemption, that's those are the players. The players who've not joined the camp because of injuries or personal reasons, as they have stated, are Roshan Singh Naurem, Mohammad Yasir, Viman Mohanan, Rahul KP, Isaac Vanlal, Rohat Fela, Akash Mishra, Laling Mavia Ralte, which of course is Apuya, Deepak Tangri, and Lalinzwala, the Aizawl FC striker. Yeah, that's his position. I know Mohammad Yasir is injured. Akash Mishra, of course, also seems to have a long-term injury. Apuya, of course, missing out on the camp, and because he has exams, so that's going to be interesting how it is. And the players who were earlier called up, who joined the camp on the 10th, who've been training since the 11th, are Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, Amrinder Singh as keepers. Defenders are Nikhil Pujari, Lalju Nunga, Jay Gupta, Amer Ranawade, Narendra Gaylord, and Mohammed Hamad. Midfielders are Suresh Singh Wanjam, Mahesh Singh Naurem, Nanda Kumar Sekar, Brandon Fernandez, Edmund Raldindika, Imran Khan, Jigson Singh, Thonau Jam. And Brandon has also had some injury, so therefore he has also missed a few sessions so far. And forwards are, of course, Rahim Ali, David Lalan Sangha, Jitin MS, and Parthiv Sundar Gogoi. Those are the players that are there in the camp at the moment. So that's that. And Gaurav says, will you be surprised if Hyderabad FC play without any foreign players next season? I think, Gaurav, the problem of Hyderabad is, as it stands at this moment, as we speak, Hyderabad FC have a FIFA transfer ban, which does not allow them to sign any players. They've got so many outstanding dues of salaries of players. It is that they need to clear. But that is, of course, something that they can only clear if they get new investment. So therefore, signing foreigners is the first thing. Signing even Indians is out of the question for them at the moment. That is something which makes it difficult for them, because some of their better players are set to leave. Magzo is linked to East Bengal. Other players are linked to other teams as well. So therefore, the best ones who played in the last few months most probably will leave the club and join other ISL teams. And that means they might de facto be playing with a reserve / under-19 team in the ISL. So therefore, I think the organizers have a little bit of an issue and problem. It will be interesting to see how they sort it out. And so therefore, that's it. Anna Mana Kuruvila, what do you expect from the two matches? See, the Qatar game, I'm not counting in. To me, the Kuwait game is the match for us. And to me, the question is, and will remain, is what is going to be the relationship of the coach and the players? That's something which I feel is, I think, the most crucial question at the moment in regard to Igor Stimac. Is that will something change You know, so therefore, um, to me, mm, the Kuwait game is something which is going to be the crucial game for us. I think the crucial game is for it. But again, to me, the question is what is the relationship of the coach and the players, and are the players willing to do what is needed to beat Kuwait, to be in the position to say, listen, we can finish this. So therefore, for me, very, very clear. It's the Kuwait game is going to be the deciding factor, and at the moment, I don't know how we're gonna play that game. That's something which I'm looking forward to. How is India gonna approach that game? How is India gonna try and win that game? So therefore, yeah, that's something which we'll have to wait and see. Doctor asking if he has given up on Indian football. I don't know, Dark Knight, why you're saying that. But again, a lot of things that have happened in the last few weeks and months are not really convincing. Let's put it this way, in regard to thinking that India is a developing football ecosystem, football market. And there've been sadly more negative than positive news, and that's something which I feel is a huge problem for Indian football. And therefore, for me, the question arises: what happens next? And therefore, it's going to be interesting to see how we've got currently the Lok Sabha elections going on, and what happens. For me is let's wait and see what actually happens, and where the journey is going for Indian football, right? And FIFA and AFC will surely be watching that, and then let's wait and see what happens. I think that's the big questions. Does grassroots academies get initial players and Namasi get the money from PSG? No, they don't. No, they don't. If there's a transfer fee involved, they get a cut off from the transfer fee, which is a certain way of calculations. But there is no money that academies get in regard to players' salaries. That is all for the player. Nearly 38 minutes. Trying to answer all your questions, or have actually answered all your questions. And to me is the question. If you have any more queries, more than welcome to try and answer those. Otherwise, as always, yes, before I move on, those of you who have not subscribed to the channel, please do. Those of you who may be watching it not live but deferred, also leave a subscribe. Do leave, if you can, a like, share the video, share the videos, not only this video, but the other videos as well. Do leave your comment. What do you think? I also did earlier today a video on the question of will FSKL extend their AFF commercial contract or leave Indian football. I think that's a big question that is not being discussed as much, but which I feel should be discussed in Indian football. I think that's a big question in regard to where are we going in the future. So do watch that video, watch the other videos as well. I've been doing a few videos, be it on what are the plans of Mumbai City for the new season, what's next for the Blasters, our East Bengal, rebuilding the squad or just bringing in sort of reinforcements, and are, for example, Mohun Bagan, Supercharged looking to make a marquee signing. So I've got different approaches. So therefore, those are the things that I've done in the recent past, and therefore, do watch those videos, and again, do leave your comments below, and try and answer them, or try and get back to you guys as soon as I can, as always. And if there is something which you find, again, as always, like these videos, share these videos, and of course, please subscribe to arunfoot here on YouTube. And again, here my target at the moment is to get to 1K and then grow further. Those of you who have not subscribed. 40 minutes done. I don't know if you have any other questions or observations for today. If you don't, I would then slowly come to an end, and then sort of end this live. Thanks a lot, guys, for joining in. If you don't have anything more, again, it's not been a too busy day in regard to rumors, and said that. Dark Knight, thanks a lot that you already subscribed. But again, spread it amongst friends and family. Let's grow the community, and yeah, and I'll be back in the coming days. Let's see. I'll be doing more of these short explainer videos as well on what's happening. So thanks for joining in, and I'll be back very, very soon. Thanks a lot, and good night.